I'm Euan, co-founder of Willo, and today I'm giving an introduction to one of my favorite integrations. And I say favorite because it's actually more than one integration. It's thousands of integrations. So what we're talking about today is Zapier, or Zapier, depending on your accent. Zapier is an incredible platform where you can connect Willo with thousands of other applications without having to write a single line of code or without having to involve a developer at all. Think of it like the glue that sticks two or more applications together and keeps them synced and integrated with one another. Zapier is actually so powerful that I personally ran a previous business entirely on the platform, from automated customer emails and SMSs, to producing invoices, to doing identity checks. Even our phone system was connected up through Zapier. It was an amazing platform. So next up, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to connect Willo and Zapier with Google Sheets. This is one of our most common integrations, and it allows you to automatically add completed Willo interviews to Google Spreadsheet in real time. Super handy if, like me, you prefer to work from a spreadsheet and data and you prefer to cut things up that way. So let's just jump into the basic setup. Now, first up, you'll need a free Zapier account, which you can sign up for. There's a link in the description below. And you'll also need a Willo account. And once you have both your Zapier and your Willo account, you can proceed to the next steps. So first up, we're going to create our first Zap. So let's jump over to Zapier. So once you're logged into Zapier, you will come onto your dashboard like this. And on the top left-hand corner, you'll see the big button, Create Zap. So let's just click on Create Zap. And it will load up. Now, the way that Zapier works, everything's broken down into steps. So each step is clearly visible here. We have two steps. So in this situation here, we have a trigger and an action. We can obviously add more actions, but at the moment, let's just stick with one trigger and one action. What this really means is that when something happens in the trigger application, we're going to then actually cause an action. So let's just set this up. We'll use Willo as our trigger. So you type in Willo, and what we're going to do is choose New Response. So what this means is that whenever a new response is received in my Willo account, so whenever somebody completes an interview in my Willo account, we're going to trigger this Zap here. So we click New Response, Willo, click Continue. We then just choose my account, click Continue again. And now you have the option actually of choosing which interview you want to trigger this Zap on. We're just going to choose all for this example, but you can actually choose a specific interview if you want. So we just choose all interviews. What this means is that whenever a response is received for any of the interviews in my account, we'll trigger this Zap. We're on the final stage of this setting up of the trigger. So now we just test the trigger. So Zapier allows you to actually run a test to make sure that everything is connected up properly. So we'll just run that now. Click on test. What it'll do is it'll actually go to Willo and it'll pull back some data. So you'll see here, it's pulled back the candidate's data like so. So this all means that it works. This is good. This is a real person inside my Willo account here. So we click Continue. And you'll see now up here at the top, we have this green check. This means that the trigger stage is now set up. So this means that whenever a response is received in my Willo account, the trigger will actually run properly. Now we just need to choose an action. So let's connect with Google Sheets. So we want to link Willo with Google Sheets. We want to create a new row in a spreadsheet. And you'll see here that I created a spreadsheet already before this demo. So you'll see here it's called Zapier Example. And in my spreadsheet, I have 4 columns: name, email address, phone number, and interview. And you can obviously have any columns that you like, but I just chose these ones today. And you'll see why in a minute. So we jump back to Zapier. We want to create a spreadsheet in that row in that spreadsheet. We then just choose my account. So we choose my Google account, click Continue, choose my drive, and then we just want to choose the spreadsheet that I just created earlier. You can also choose the worksheet, and then we click Continue. Okay, so what you'll see is that Zapier has actually gone to my spreadsheet, and it has pulled back the columns that I just showed you in sheet 1. So we go back there, you'll see in sheet 1, we have name, email address, phone, interview, and those are the columns that it's found. So now what we want to do is actually populate data automatically into those columns. So in this first column here, I want to put the person's name from Willo. So just here, if I show all options, these are all the different fields that are actually available from Willo. So Willo makes all these fields available. So we go full name. So we want the person's full name to appear there. We want the person's email address to appear here. Let's put their phone number in here, like so. And then let's put their link to their interview in there. Now this is just an example, obviously, of the data that we ran in our test, but this will be populated with real data when we actually activate the Zap. So we click continue. This is all set up now. And you'll see here, very similar to the first stage, we now have the option to run a test. So what we want to do here is, just to summarize, we want to update the spreadsheet called Zapier example, sheet number 1, with interviewer's name, email address, phone number, and the link to their actual interview itself. So if we click test and continue, it will now connect with the sheet. A spreadsheet row was sent to Google Sheets. So it's successfully completed. We've got the green check again there. And if we jump back to the spreadsheet, you'll now see that my data has been populated in that spreadsheet. So everything's up and running. Now what's really cool about this is that when we turn this Zap on, so we jump back to this screen here, when we click on, we actually will be able to turn this Zap on. And then from this date forward, any new response that I receive in my Willo account will automatically update that spreadsheet. So we just close that, it says your Zap is now ready. I just click this big button here and I can actually enable that Zap. And it will literally just update this spreadsheet every single time a new response is received in my Willo account. Really easy. Obviously you can add other columns in the future, you can change things, you can edit this data, and it will just run away. As long as there's no issues, obviously if there's any errors, it will tell you, so you just turn it on here or turn it on here. If there is any errors, obviously sometimes Zaps break. So for example, if I deleted that spreadsheet, the Zap wouldn't work anymore. Or I deleted my Willo account, the Zap won't work anymore. But Zapier will keep you informed of what exactly is going on. If you have any questions about how this integration works, please do visit support.willo.video. That's support.willo.video. Or contact your Willo account manager and we can actually walk you through the steps for your own custom Zaps. Well, hopefully this helps give you a bit of a kind of an example of how easy it is to set up Willo integrations with Zapier. Obviously this is a very common use case we went through, but you can connect Zapier with 4,100 apps now in their app store. So good luck. Any questions, please just ask, and thanks for watching.